welcome. Okay, that should be hopefully not too quiet for you, but if it is, my apologies.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric.
I assume pretty much everyone that's watching this video has probably played Dark Souls 3 before.
Lords of Cinder
But for those that haven't, here's the opening cinematic.
In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones.
Pilgrims are all so small.
When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep.
Someone had to put that in a coffin. Imagine trying to skip all that up.
Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers.
Edgy boys.
And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital.
See, they gave him a face, and
Jon the Giant.
I kind of preferred him when he was in this sort of faceless form. Because of course, it reminds you of the giants from Dark Souls 2.
Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise.
Because if they didn't rise, we wouldn't have a game.
Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
I like to imagine as we're going through the game, the soul of Cinder is elsewhere, just wrecking shop as they eventually also end up at the same point at the end of the game, but through a completely different route. Now, a bit of explanation as to why I'm doing a recording for Dark Souls 3. Several years, nearly a decade? Maybe a bit less, after it's come out. Why I'm doing it after I've played the hell out of this game. Essentially, I'm planning to do a playthrough of not just Dark Souls 3, but also Sekiro and then Elden Ring. I'll throw Bloodborne on there, but I unfortunately live on the underside of the world in Australia. And the only way to play Bloodborne with my current setup would be to stream it through Twitch and then record it that way. However, previous experience trying to do that has shown me that the recordings without internet connection where I currently am aren't the greatest. If I had the money to move to Sydney and do it over there, 100% it would be much better. But as is, I don't have a capture card. I have a very old PS4, one of the first that came out. So yeah, I would love to do Bloodborne one day, and if we get the stuff for it, I 100% will. But that's why I'm not doing Bloodborne. Dark Souls 1 and 2. I did play a lot of Dark Souls 1 when I was younger, but after playing Dark Souls 3 so much, going back to Dark Souls 1, it feels so solid. It's not as fluid with the dodges, parries, and movements as it is in Dark Souls 3. And that's essentially why I'm not starting on that game. Also, I'm fairly sure I don't have it on PC. I can double check later on, but now at least we'll be starting with Dark Souls 3. Last reason why I'm doing it is because while I've got the default ending for the game, I've gone through the base game from start to finish at least 5 times at this point. I have finished only one of the DLCs, so the Ashes of Arendelle? No. What's the name of them? But the very first DLC, the one that has you fight Freed at the end, that is the DLC I finished. I've yet to finish the Ring City, that's it. So, yeah, we'll hopefully get that done as well. This will be a full playthrough. We'll probably not be doing New Game Plus, because we're moving on to different games at that point. And hopefully, at the end of this, we'll just have a bit of fun. And at the very least, if you're the competitive sort, you can load this up, watch it in the background, try to keep pace with me as I go forwards, just see if you can keep up, or if you can beat me to the end. Because this will be a... I'm not going to get all the items, but I am going to try and defeat every boss. So if you're doing a run like that, this will be the perfect run to see if you can do so. Also, full disclosure, there is one boss in this game I haven't beat outside the DLCs, and that is the Forgotten King. Nameless King? Yeah, Nameless King. So, hopefully we'll also manage to defeat him, but we'll see. As for name, gender, generally speaking I prefer to play through as female. Personal preference. Name I'll be using as Asher. That's the name I generally use for a lot of my characters, and also on Discord. Age known, class, of course, deprived. Always start games like this at the... I'm going to say the worst class. You won't get to see it in Sekiro. Sekiro doesn't really have classes, but you'll get to see it in Elden Ring. Also, we'll be starting that deprived. For Rift... This was Elden Ring, I'll take the key. This one I think we'll just take the life ring. Face presets. I can see one that was outcast. Londo Shadow of Death. Brilliant. Serpentine. Not that one. And I don't think we're going to do much customization here, so the only thing I really want to change is the eye color. I remember how to do that. Oop. And the hairstyle. Face details. Pupils. Color pupils. Let's go down here to the RGB and just max out red. There we go. And hair and facial hair. Color. Generally speaking, I tend to make my characters long hair. I'll use style, because I think I've used it in the past. The color. Could just go white. Crank it all up. That work? Yeah, it's kind of grey in the end, isn't it? Look at that brow color, same thing. There we go. And we'll start with that. Not one of the abominations that I've seen other players make. So, yeah, we're not going to make the head huge, color skin green. The most, for lack of a better term, inbred creation ever. No, we're just going to keep it plain and simple. 3 small changes, I think it was 3, and that'll be it. As for builds in this game, in the past I've done dark magic a lot. Mostly because I enjoy, you know, throwing around black flames. This one, I think we're going to channel our inner edgelord and find a katana, use that, use pyromancy as well, if we can. Just go fly katana the entire way. We won't be getting any of this fancy katanas because they usually require online play, which we will not be doing. But I think these two-handed weapon. There we go. Ah. I was trying to two-handed weapon the same way you do in Elden Ring. That is not how you do it in Dark Souls. It is literally just press triangle. Just as fast. Now, I'm not expecting a lot of trouble with a lot of the creatures or bosses. I'm going to say until I reach the cathedral. The one exception is right around this corner. Because I've died to the crystal lizards more times than I would care to admit. Oh. Tried the jump. Again, not Elden Ring. These guys can naturally lose a lock on, which a lot of people just shouting at me like, "Get good scrub, why are you even logging on?" I do not mind admitting that I need the lock on. I'm not one of those people in PvP Dark Souls that can free aim everything. And while I probably am slightly better than most people are just starting Dark Souls 3, I am not by any means a master of the game. Good breath. If they gave this creature a tail attack, just one tail attack, it would be much more threatening. That tail back there is the most useless tail in the world. There we go, one scale. And some souls. Did use a lot of our Estus fast doing that, but I believe there's a bonfire up ahead, so not an issue. And I am too used to having the ability to jump freely. How do I do it this one? L3. I am playing this with a controller, mind you. I worked out how to get that working on PC, so I just prefer using it. I have played with a mouse and keyboard in the past, and it's perfectly doable. But I grew up with a PS4, and the PS3, and PS2, PS1. I didn't have an Xbox, mind you, so can't really use an Xbox controller. But for games like this, I just, prefer using a controller. Feels more precise. People are probably shouting at me like, "Hey, the mouse is 100% more precise." I'm like, what's your opinion? Okay, so those two dead. There's a guy here. Guy here. Don't know why I'm killing these guys when I have to go back there and rest at my what are they called? Bonfire. Anyway. Oop, and oop, and that. Too large. Fire again, please. One down. Fire bombs are actually going to be useful. Those who haven't played Dark Souls 3 before, next boss is coming up. Stop. We're on mute for the next 5 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Basically when I close my fist, I'll stop smiling. But essentially, use fire bombs against their second form. They're weak to it. And there we go. try not to be too spoilerish, but again, this game has been out for a long time. I assume that most people that are playing it have played it before. Might not have got all the secrets before, may not have killed all the bosses before, but I have to assume that everyone has seen, or at least knows of, most things in this game. Another boss over there. Nope. Just me, my soul's not increased recently. I was at 4,300 when I killed the crystal lizard. Or these guys literally giving so little that it's only been like 100 or 200. Let's check. Ah, that explains it, giving 20 each. Which means I've gained roughly 200. Before we continue, I do want to put those onto my hotbar. Yep. You and smash. The club, not the best weapon in the world, but honestly, not the worst. It does its job. And its job is staggering. Pull the sword out, nothing bad will possibly happen for doing that. Oh. You can not get it by him, I'd really appreciate it. Really good if I can not get smashed by him. Thank you. Nice. Ah. Smash. Let that do the 5 rounds. Honestly, running in and just smashing them a few times would most likely finish this far faster. Excellent. Going back to what I said about the Soul Cinder going through the game, I like to also imagine that Soul Cinder came through here first, and that's how the judge got impaled. No, there's probably some law that probably contradicts that. Fact. What's it called? Sword. The sword is only bequeathed to chosen ash as judged by the edicts, which I believe is Latin for judge. It awaits the arrival of ash as a scabbard. So, probably impaled himself. Dark Souls lore is open to so much interpretation. But Buddy does a fairly good job. I want to say I agree with roughly 60 to 70% of what they say most of the time. But at the end of the day, it's your own story. They give you pieces, clues. There are definitely some parts that are less ambiguous and are like, hey, here's your lore. But a lot of it, just, yeah. Please die. Just there for you to discover. It's an open kind of storytelling that was... how to say this? The blueprint for it was created in Dark Souls 1. And it is now iconic to Dark Souls in particular. It doesn't spoon-feed you the story like a lot of other games do. It just leaves it open for you to care about it as much or as little as you like about it. Now, a lot of the items in this area aren't exactly the greatest, but there are a few exceptions. Which I will show you in just a second. First thing we're going to do, activate this. Because there's a very high chance we're going to die in a second.
Welcome to the... I am a fire. I tend to the flame. The lords have left there to this end. I am at thy side.
My apologies if anyone was hoping to get the dialogue there. I'm not exactly the
Very well.
most patient person these days.
Then take nourishment.
That's where we're going to put our stats. It's stamina, so we're going to put that up. Movement. I'm not sure if we're actually going to use spells this run. We may, because I did say pyromancies, and there is one pyromancy I really do enjoy. I may just try to do weapon only. It's somewhat boring for you, I suspect, but... Maybe a luck build. Right, what we're going to do, at the moment at least, is work more about attunement. Vitality, not so much. I'm going to put the extra point we have into... No, make dexterity. And then we'll use a soul and also level up that last one.
Well, I should made
There we go. Fading soul should be enough. Yep, more than enough.
Ash predict them to lock. Very well. Then taken.
Now, to those that are wondering, why is Xbox, you know, descriptions of buttons popping up when you're using a PS4 controller? Steam's weird. That's your answer to that.
Farewell, I've made a flip.
Ah, well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends. Don't you think? What a sick... Asking... Are we talking...
I'm not sure if it's in this game. I do know it's in Elden Ring. I believe there's a spell called Mercurial Silver. If we're going to do any spell casting, it may just be for that.
What a sick... Asking... Talking...
We'll see. Maybe. As you can tell, I'm very indecisive, and I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I do know that we're going to need at least 20 in most stats. Some we won't. Luck, for example. Some builds use it. I generally don't. Get rid of these. Just in case. Why is there a bloodstain there? Never mind. I'm used to having to actually pay for online. I was like, I don't have my subscription service up. I'm not playing on the PS4. Apparently, Steam doesn't care that much. Here's your bloodstains. I'm actually surprised that the service Dark Souls 3 is still up. Okay, how are we going to deal with you? What are you going to do? Oh, oh, there goes 2/3 of my health. Nope. 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 Ah, you got me. This is the edgelord protagonist. This may be... well, that's fine. This may be the next 4 hours. Me just trying to beat him with a club. Now, the easiest way to beat him is to just knock him off the edge. That would 100% fix the issue. But... pretty much cheese things if I can avoid it. Shield until it breaks, or he just starts blocking. Up here. Now, I believe there are some bosses I just cheese through instinct. Can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but... Round 2. Fight! Do... I don't know why I kicked there. Did not mean to kick. I'm not going to hit you while you have that stance going, mate. Nope. Nope. Ah, he's faster than me. How am I alive? Those points up into vigor. Nope. Not going to do it. Smash, smash, smash. Oh, his step in is extreme. Nope. Get out. Come on. Ah! Again, he got me. You know what? Never do that against the katana user. Come on. No, you want in. Step in. I'm not coming near you while you're in that stance. Gotcha. Coming back. I don't have any fire bombs left, do I? No. Nope. That's like me trying to do that. That will not work. Okay, he's one hit away. As long as I don't fuck this up. And I may. There we go. There's our armor for the entire game. Also, sword perhaps. 16 decks. We'll get that soon. And there's nothing else up here we can get other than the shield that's behind us, right? We need the key to this, which we don't have. I believe there's actually a skip you can use to get in there. Though I'm not sure if they patched it out. East-west shield. Speaking of shields, let's get rid of ours. More weight. Come across. We should be able to drop down the other side and ambush one of the dogs. I think that's what we do. Or is there just one up here? Bone. I think I'm thinking of the lower area. Yeah, there it is. Come down here. Here, and smash. You're gonna hear me say smash a lot when I'm using the club. It reminds me of Markiplier's video where he's, you know, smash or pass for Pokemon. And people are just like, what is this guy's tastes? Okay. We should rest down here now. At least get Estus back. Clean ourselves up a little bit.
Asher produce the mark to Loth. Very well, then touch taken up.
I don't think we can hit... I was about to say, can we hit level 10 before we leave this area? We already have. And put these in dexterity, so we can actually use the katana we just got.
Farewell, Ashen One, may the flame.
There you go. But let's just introduce ourselves to these guys.
Weapon and Ash as is.
Nothing I need to get from you immediately, is there? There's a few nice spells. I believe they, you know, they provide the Sorcerer's Staff. If you don't start with one, it's the best place to get one. Also, Soul Arrow is actually a pretty decent spell to start with. So, if you want to go spellcasting but don't want to start as a spellcaster, there you go.
Ashen One.
Andre the Giant, or rather Andre the Blacksmith.
Well, that's your toy. Let me
I was so glad when I saw that they brought him back for Dark Souls 3. He was so iconic to Dark Souls 1.
weapons, but when they're used, but sure, they take so.
That's it.
Pretty big, I go.
He looks far more insane than he did in Dark Souls 1. How long has he been, you know, just sitting there smithing that one sword? And no one else, I believe, is unlocked at the moment. She wouldn't be there. Nope. That's what ending we're gonna go for this game?
Asking to talk.
Honestly, not sure. Conrad Eerie is set. I'm not sure if it's available if you end up killing her. So, may end up doing some of that questline. Actually, I want her set. You'll know who I mean when she appears. I think she's a faith user. Uses the Sunlit Talisman. And she's not here either, so yeah. Now, there is a skip up here, which I am horrible at doing. But we shall try it for about 5 minutes. So if you don't want to see me, you know, jumping and failing repeatedly, skip ahead. But, because the idea is you run up that tree, and then hit it at the jump at the right time and angle, and you get up there. It is slightly annoying to do. I'm not the greatest at it. There we go. But the rewards are worth it if you can. I probably lost half of the viewers. They probably skipped ahead 5 minutes and be like, why? Where are you? Why have I skipped so much? I don't think there's anything on this side. The official way to get down here, the proper way, without doing the tree jump. I'm not even sure if the tree jump was intended, but you can eventually get up there and then drop down. Which will get you up here to visit these guys. Or at least the nest above.
Me, pickled pea. Me, bumperum.
We never see this NPC for the entire game, and yet somehow, just through the words, they become one of, if not the fan favorite. Alright. As for items that drop there, nothing too game breaking. Just for the most part cosmetic. There are a few multiplayer helpful items, you know, faces that you drop to say words, but if you're not in need of anything in particular, you can just ignore them for the rest of the game. Hidden wall. Not breaking. Bit weird. And we come along here, and we jump down, and we get an item that we are never going to unequip in this game until probably the very end. Converter Silver Ring. Gives, I believe, off the top of my head, 20% more souls. Could try going for the Moonlight Greatsword, now I think of it. No. I have tried that in the past and managed to do it, but it's a little bit too hardcore. Plus, I'm not sure if we're going to go that sort of build. It may go. It might work out. I mean, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to go full-on magic Moonlight Greatsword. You know, a few spells in there, but again, we'll see how I feel later on. I mean, there's a bunch of bosses between here and there. As for... I don't think there's anything else we actually have to do here at the moment, so... let's just move on. Actually, I take it back, there is one thing that we have to do. Which was not that. Why can you teleport to the same location? Why? It doesn't even... Sitting down effectively relates area. You don't have to teleport back to it.
Ah, it is good, wasn't he?
There we go. Oh, that's fine.
Pretty big, I don't.
Generally speaking, for a flask allocation, I prefer having around 10 Estus and 5 Ashen. But I'm not even sure you get up to 15 Estus shards. I think it's 14, or even 13. That's fine. I'm also, in my previous playthroughs, a habitual wiki user. I find the info on the internet whenever I have a question and go to it. We will not be doing it this run. This one is, you could say, testing my memory a little bit. We shouldn't need it. We should just be able to discover most things naturally. I will remember most of the storyline flags. That shouldn't be an issue. And also 100% remember the layout of most of the maps. So just the location of some items, how much some items affect things. You know how it goes. I'm not sure if we should go this way. As far as rewards go, it is rather small. Give me a dog. Okay, are you going to come up with me? Oh, yeah. Okay. Check. The next dash we can out right now. Come on. Lazy bones. Come on. You're really just gonna walk straight back down again? Come on. There we go. Come after me. Chase the booty. Up the stairs. There we go. Come over here. I think actually, yeah, we'll go bleed build. I can't remember if there are any sorcerers or spells that improve bleed. Other than the gnawing spell, which I'm not a great fan of. Maybe fire. Can you see how indecisive I am? Why I generally tend to go darker. Because they can essentially do everything. We'll not be using that for a while. Though a raw gem this early is an extremely good drop. We want to murder this guy. This guy. I did not want to have to deal with your second form this early. Just a little bit of genocide. It's just a tiny bit. I'm looking at it and I can see now. I've never actually looked over the edge here and definitely tell the textures and the polys definitely drop off. Just a tiny bit. Just, you know, I don't think they wanted the high texture there. I do have the graphics settings set. Okay, right. Game, brightness, network, graphics. Full screen, quality, high. We'll leave it at high. Actually, got settings. Max is there. Would max do anything? Not really. Okay, so we'll set back to high. Is there a frame rate cap? No. Okay. In case you're curious, I am actually playing this on a laptop. That's why the webcam is a bit, you know, low resolution, not exactly the highest frame rate webcam. Hopefully it is picking up enough. If you're able to hear me talking. See me moving, if it is probably a little bit blurry. But for the most part, it's... I don't really need the highest resolution face cam, and you don't either. It's just there to capture my reaction to a few things. So you have something more, how to say it? More cool than just my voice to listen to. Now, I do hope that the game audio isn't too loud or too quiet. It's hard to tell just through the streaming OBS. No. Bad holiday. Bad. Don't do that. Let people sleep. You too. And stamina there. Now, I would like to kill the, or at least chase off the wyvern later on. I just don't think I have enough arrows to do it this early. So I believe the pickup I got was only like 12 or something. Well, where are the money? I believe in order to chase it off, I'd need more like 400. I don't have stats, the long way itself isn't leveled up. So yeah. Yeah. Does look a lot like the top of a tower would. That does feel that. A lot of commentary I could give about the aesthetics of Dark Souls, and the High Wall of Lothric is beautiful. Compared to Dark Souls 2 and 1 at the time when this game released, this entire section was mind-blowingly beautiful. These days we have other games that have raised the bar above this sort of standard. The fact that it, even back then, ran solidly, looked this beautiful on even basic systems. It was a marked improvement. That big Mac. Yeah. Definitely left me in awe when I first saw it. The fact that it can potentially, even still to this day in 2023, just to date the video, compared to a lot of other AAA games that are coming out, or actually take it back, probably not AAA, probably AA. It just goes to show how much polish I put into this. I need you to die. With you as well. Now, I believe I could just run through. But let's not do the bottom level and do the top. Maybe let's okay. Nope, hit that. Get most of them. Now, there is a plain verge at the very end there. Can you see it? And I would love to get that weapon. I'm just fairly sure that I can. If I do, I will die. That is tempting me. Let's not. Let's leave it. Actually, can you feel it? Can you feel how much that weapon over there is tempting me? Flame Burge is when the few great swords applies bleed. And, it's actually quite nice. Oh, Paul can stand breath, not taking fire damage. I'll get caught by its breath. Here's that here. Because I'm not sure whether to start running as he does his breath or as the ground's on fire. Honestly hard to decide. But we give it up. There we go. This is a bad idea. I'm gonna lose 800 souls here. Do not do what I'm about to do. No, no. Nah, the stagger. The stagger's what killed it. If I had some way to get over there without, you know, being stopped every few seconds by the stagger, I would. Like, can I take quick shots at these points here? Like, at least the wing. Oh, don't open it. I very nearly walked up to that and pressed the button. But I believe I did press the button. I was lucky that I was a centimeter away from it though. So, smash. Don't kick it. Or did I kick that? Nope. Ah! What are you laughing at me? Nope. By the way, if we hadn't leveled up our vigor beforehand, that kick would have 100% killed me. You cannot survive that unless you have a few extra points in there. Deep battle axe, another nice weapon I'm never going to use. If you're confused about the difference between deep and dark, deep does a set amount of dark damage based on the refinement of the weapon. It doesn't really care about your scaling stats at all, if I remember correctly. Dark does. Yep. In fact, it removes the attribute bonuses, removes the scaling completely, and gives you just a nice set, flat amount of bonus dark. It's great for those that are either not speccing into dark or don't want to put their stats into, you know, strength and dexterity. Casters and the like. That means you don't have to essentially waste points in a stat you don't want to use to get a decent amount of damage normally. And there are other refinements that also have the same sort of effect. Once you did. Yep, I remember that you existed. There's a knight there. We'll try not to fight him. We just leave him be. He'll go down the bottom and do his business. There we go. And we will run through here because I have no health and I want some Estus. Here's your halfway point bonfire. In a remarkably easy to miss location, I think. I don't think a lot of people would miss it, but it's possible. We will not go back and spend the souls. We shall continue onwards. That is how confident I am about this area. I'll let him go through. Not that confident. Whoop. And whoop. And whoop. I am confident that I can defeat everything in this area, except that one knight. You can go on. One down. Yep. Two down. Third. No. Where's the guy on the bottom level? Should I deal with? He's easy enough to stagger. Let's see. Stagger, stagger, stagger. Nope, all stamina gone. Any enemy that you can stagger per hit is not going to be that hard for you once you get used to it. Keep on the pressure if they can be staggered. If they cannot be staggered, such as a boss or something larger, 1 or 2 hits, then get out. If you use that strategy for the most part, you'll be fine. No. Bad bomber. Bad. Don't throw bombs. Hear that, kids? Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Nailbreaker. Where is that? That's right, I remember. Very nice. And we can't open this until we get the key. And technically there's something even scarier than the knight that we just avoided down there, so... Oh, good for now. Come along here. For you. Let's do... Yep. Could have eventually dodged that. Thought I was faster. Apparently not. Can you not get stuck on me? Okay, kill this guy before he transforms. Okay. It makes getting this next part easy. Because if you come down here, instead of going down the ladder, which most of you will be sprinting for at this point, go around this corner and learn the hold. Now, I don't remember where every crystal lizard in the game is, but I do remember that one. Now, I believe the raw refinement that we're getting the gems for does the same thing for a lot of weapons. It removes the attribute bonus. It just makes it extra flat scaling. Oop. Could be wrong about that, mind you. But there we go. He'll be coming back up. Yep, making his way. More fire bombs. Almost like they want us to start a fire somewhere. In Dark Souls? Starting a fire? You don't say. Good at it, boy. Good at it. Now, that guy down there, also annoying to fight. May try to do so after we open up the shortcut. Before we do all the night in there, do this. Oh, stamina. Nope. Do not die. There we go. Ooh, that's nice. I'll just dagger him. Guy in here we need to kill first. Trying to consider whether that skull was, you know, just a skull on the side or a person. I just started climbing up, that kind of answered that question. Nothing down there, right? Just good looks. Yep. Let's go back to full health for this. Back to full health for this. There we are. And try not to die to this guy. Which honestly, it's gonna be hard. Some of you will be like, hey, that's not hard. I'll be like, fuck you. I found them hard. Especially this guy. His shield bashing is really annoying. Oh yeah? Did we say anything nice? No. So yeah, I can kill them, but depending on how lucky I am, I'm gonna use up most of my Estus. There wasn't anything too interesting on this side, was there? No. It can drop down there and get some else, but actually come along back here first. Roll past him, because I don't particularly feel like getting stabbed. Broadsword. A solid choice if you don't have access to the longsword. Stat-wise, I think it requires more strength than the longsword. No, it actually requires less. I believe longsword requires 12. But the downside of it is that it's slightly shorter than the longsword, I think. Chest here, which is not a mimic. Oh, but you are slightly worrying. Yep. Silver Eagle Kite Shield. A very solid shield. 100% physical reduction. Which is what you want from a shield in this game. If you're going to be using one. Also, there's a plane flying overhead. Hopefully, it isn't being picked up too loudly at the moment. Bombs away. Goodbye. They heard the firebombs, but they didn't see me. Means we are fine, technically. Technically. That's type of correct. When in doubt, throw bombs. What they're there for. There we go. It's as easy as that. Let's just ignore the fact that there's still one left. Now, black fire bombs do a lot of damage. Using them on this, bit of a waste, but... And the damage, I believe, scales up in the end game, so... We were wrong about that last bit. Yep. And I think there's one more here. Okay. You can go back and unlock Grey Rat. Pick up this as the shard. I believe there's a item there. That shard. Now, there is an item down here, I want to say. I want that winged knight to be swinging somewhere else. There we go. I know you exist. Run through here. I've kind of always wondered who the Winged Knights represented. Because you can obviously tell there's been a bit of combat between the Lothric Knights and the Winged Knights. What country they were here to represent the interests of. Because we know essentially what they're after. They're trying to reach the king. They're trying to, say it. Start the next age, I think? And they're not from not Lothric. They're not from, where's the pilgrims are from? Dark Souls 1's Sunken City. I remember what it's called. They're in my hand. What I killed all you. Fix that. Kill the bosses. Now, these aren't really explained early on in the game, but they kind of are later on, just a little bit. Essentially, the butterflies you see later on are these guys, after they've finished metamorphosing. If they do finish metamorphosing. this a very war-torn area. Okay, we wanted to go down. Yeah, I think everything's good. Yep. And talk to Greyback.
Ah. You're no jailer, are you? No, you're from far away. And judging by the bell, you must be some of that unkindled ash. Remarkable. Below the high wall is a musty little town. Not the home of any lord, just a very old settlement of undead. An old woman, Loretta, lives there. Please, give her this ring. I'm not asking for charity. In fact, if you do this for me, I'll be sure to repay you in kind. I may be a petty thief, but I've more wits than most royalty. What do you say then, huh? Very well. I humbly place my faith in you. I am Grey Rat. Give this ring to do your part.
Let's play Grey Rat. A thief, it's true. But in this world, in this messed up Dark Souls, everything is going to shit world, being a thief may just be what you have to be in order to survive. Because, generally speaking, you don't want to die. I feel like there should be a door there. In Dark Souls, if you can help it. Dark Souls 1 shows it. Dark Souls 2 also kind of did, if I remember correctly. Dying in Dark Souls, you do come back. But every time you come back, it tends to leave little bits of you behind. Humanity. And become more and more gaunt, more like this every time you do. You know, just withered, dried, inhuman. Now, because we are essentially avoiding that at the moment at least, because we're not technically them, we're Ash. But that can change, depending on which storyline you follow. We're probably gonna die. I definitely do need to heal up. Oh! Where'd you go from? That was unexpected. I forgot there's some guys hanging on this ledge as well, so when I came through earlier, I must have triggered them and not noticed. Just swing around this way. Wing Knight shouldn't notice me. Should be able to come across and just grab this quickly. And we can actually use one of those. Generally speaking, you want to hold on to embers if you can. They are quite useful late game. Especially if you're trying to farm a different boss, but I'm using one for healing right now. We had a sliver of health left. Got this. I do need to jump this one, don't I? Yeah. Jump. New sacrifice. A very useful wing that I do not use more than. I don't use it enough. I don't want to use breakable items if I can avoid it. Just... Oh, it's following us. Run away! Run away! Stop following me, please. Oh, stuck in the corner. Not good! Not good! Okay, we're out. Okay. I'm gonna just... don't think I can use an ember again to heal, unfortunately. Because I'm already embered up. So we have to continue on with this. There should be respawned axe dude. Yes. Ah, that delay. Oh, you're alive. Ah! Thought the special got him. Much like me earlier, he had a sliver of health left. That's fine. It's not too far from the other point. Which we'll teleport to right now. Another nice quality of life change from Dark Souls 1. You can teleport instantly. And those that only started with Dark Souls 3 are like, you can't teleport in Dark Souls 1? No. You sweet summer child, you don't get that until much later in the game. Okay, get down here. Gotta run up. About to hit me. There we go. Definitely having stamina issues at this point. Which is to be expected at my level. And katana is one of the faster weapons. It's not the fastest by far. It'd be either a rapier or a dagger. But it's respectful. Nope. 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 And nope. You had your problem with me last time, not this time. Oh, it's item here. Green blossoms. Perfect for stamina, but not gonna use it. Oh. That crossbow. I believe the crossbow may actually be better for dealing with the dragon than longbow. Okay, we actually do need to fight through these guys. So we'll get one of them. If you follow me up the stairs, please. Okay, come on. You know you want to. And there we go. Stabbed. Okay. Drinking Estus early. Ah! Make me regret drinking the Estus one, don't you? Really? A little rude. I hope you can not see that, because if so, I need to turn off my notifications. Feels bad when you die. But we'll persist. All for this first part, I think, will be defeating the watchdog. Do probably one zone per part. Wait. Scenes won't be too bloated. And this is where I hear people saying, but you've already done a part, you killed the judge. I'm like, oh, shut up. Yeah, if you get defeated by a boss, or it's a random enemy and you start feeling frustrated with the game, step away for a period of time, come back. Generally speaking, you'll do better if you don't be too frustrated with it. Just remain cool and calm and you can do all sorts of things. I wish I could stop kicking though. I keep on doing that by accident. I know the command, I know how it's done, but the fact that I'm doing it by accident so many times is annoying me. Hey, get over here. Get over here. Come on. Sorry. for dealing with you compared to your brother. Okay, come on. Whoop. And that lunge is annoying. Yeah, stamina. Something I have to also come to terms with is I'm getting older. My reaction time for games like this is already starting to decrease. I won't be able to perform this well a few years from now, and I'm already performing much worse than I did when I used to play this game pretty much habitually. Because for a period of time, this was one of the better games to waste time on. Still is, in a lot of ways. Well. Yeah, see, the stamina is a big issue. I'm going to have to put points in that later on. I do want to kill the one up there, but we're going to run through here and talk to her first, just in case I do end up dying again. Truth, I shouldn't have used that Estus. I'm going to ember up anyway, so...
You will, they have to their head forward. This it is if you then and the go through but the
urge to murder her right now and spawn the dancer quite high. I'm not going to do it. I will 100% die. It would be able to one-shot me. I put some points of vitality. Not enough to survive the dancer. Really? I can use that to speed me there. Was it twice in a row? 3 times in a row? It does annoy me a little bit. Cut your kneecaps. Not exactly worth it. I do kind of like the armor, but I've never actually got a full set, and it is also quite heavy. As for this dude, fairly certain that's not worth fighting him at the moment. So we're just gonna leave him be. Let's do these. Sorry. Stamina loss is extreme. Okay, deal with you, because archers generally aren't very threatening unless you forget about them. If you do, generally speaking, you will 100% get a bolt to the back when you least expect it. Okay. Now, we won't use any players, just because honestly, getting a player for Watchdog is actually quite hard these days. We will use an NPC, I believe. There he is. Very guy that we stole his katana from. Also, my apologies if you see me itching my face too much. I'm not sure why. What bit is she today? Swordmaster, let's try to defeat the Watchdog without any Estus. First try. With 7,000 souls. Yeah. This is probably not the best idea. It's most likely the waste of an ember, but... no, we can try. Watchdog is not the hardest boss in the world, but one thing you do have to watch out for, if memory serves, is Frost. It is swinging around its mace so much, leaving little clouds of frost that eventually it will trigger it on you if you're not careful. Even if you are careful, it might. But it is the first introduction of frost in the game to you, because it's an element that just wasn't in any of the previous Dark Souls, I want to say. Oh, that was not exactly very smart of me. Back to the watchdog. Don't get too arrogant about what you're doing. Otherwise, he will just get you by accident. Oh, bit of frame rate lag there. The Swordmaster is just taking passive damage every now and again. Oh. His laser beam breath there, actually the biggest opening you have against him. Spitting. Oh. Taking passive damage against him at the moment. Master, no! Oh, mistake. Don't want to do heavy moves while you're frosted. Ran out of stamina. So I died, but also Vort died there. Got a soul, but then lost the souls you get for the kill? Question mark? I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It's been a while since I got a simultaneous kill. Do I have a soul in my inventory? I do. That's what matters. That's what's needed. And we could just skip these guys because the elevator should be up there. Do it properly. He died for once. Go down. We saved Swordmaster, and Swordmaster didn't save us, but, you know, proved that he was indeed the master. Over here, we don't particularly care about you anymore. Can't skip that one. Actually, all souls. All the souls. Everyone we get now, we'll have this out later. Little shortcut for you. Removes the chance of aggroing any of the knights up above. Should just keep their shield, but I'm being really lazy. And yeah, Fort is dead. It is open. Bonfire is here. And if we go down here, there should be a little ring if I remember correctly. There used to be a small ring on the edge here that would show you, hey, you need to use a banner here. Not anymore, which is a little odd. I feel like I could see most of the map, even in low detail, from this particular point. Now, this would scare anyone that had played Dark Souls 1 and come off it, because these guys were very nasty. And the fact that they just come up and swarm you and carry you off. In Dark Souls 1, they do actually do that for you. It is at the end of Sen's Fortress, I believe, how you get up to main city, but generally speaking, the fact that these guys are still in the game, terrifying. Though, I don't remember if you fight them anywhere in Dark Souls 3. Don't recall dealing with them anywhere. Not in the castle, not down below. Okay. Never occurred to me before. Only time we really see those guys is when they're transporting you in this game. Okay. before we end this particular part, we are going to head back to Firelink if we have a fire up here. We do. And spend our points. Just to keep things smooth, even though it's probably going to lose me tens of thousands of souls later. I'll say that at the end of each zone, that's when we can spend our points. Just a little bit of artificial difficulty. We don't spend any points there, we spend points on you, don't we?
Welcome home, speak thy.
Those hips don't lie.
Very well, then touch the
Take nourishment. Don't have any spells at the moment. We're not going to be focusing on spells anyway. What we're going to do, for the moment at least, is just... How many points do we have? 5, I'll say? Yeah, 5. Gonna put 2 there, 2 there, and 1 there. And if and when we get an armor set that we like, there are a few later on. That's when we're going to start putting points into our vitality. Before now, there actually isn't much point in putting it in there. I believe every 2 points in vitality gives you an extra 1 point of defense. Or is it resistances? Something along those lines. There you go.
Farewell, Ashen, may the
And can we strengthen our weapon yet? Do we have enough Light Knight shards to do that?
Ah, just good, wasn't it?
Reinforced weapon. We got a top 2. And just to give you a look at what it would look like, that you got a raw, which we can do if we get the souls. Yes, removes the scaling entirely, and just gives you a flat bonus, which at this point in the game, because our stats are quite low, would be an improvement. I'm not going to do it though. I am leaning towards fire, just because I would like to use pyromancy later on, throw some fireballs around if possible, and I haven't really done pyromancy, pure pyromancy, before. Does remove scaling as well though. I'm not sure if there's a fire version that doesn't remove scaling. I know I said I was going to use the wiki, I may check that. Anyway, is there anyone else that joined this area? Is there? There's Bray right down here, which we can talk to. Nothing much we want to buy from it this point, I don't believe.
Just
do
me give an...
Need to find Lurda's Bone for him. Rope firebombs, good for PvP. I haven't seen a PvE build use them that much, but it might be possible. Thief mask. Don't have anything on ahead at the moment, do we? So may just grab that. Can get a bunch of arrows from them. Go back and kill the dragon? Question mark. Spend the next hour or so just trying to use arrow after arrow and shoo them away. It's doable. Would need more souls than that though. Fire arrow, while nice, wouldn't exactly do that much against a dragon. Otherwise, pretty standard.
Goodbye. Oh, this
And we put on. It kind of... If only we could colour the robes. Our tattered robes, to be correct, then it would look nice. As it is, kind of looks out of place. We'll keep it on there for now though. There were no other NPCs that would appear at this point, are there?
What
There
a
is
sick asking, talking.
just one. Just one kind of sus guy up here.
And fast on the trail of the lords absconded, then these red eyes. Use them to pillage embers. What else are on?
That's what his set.
Pillage and what else are? Pillage and what else are?
I don't think I've got his armor set before. I do kind of like it. That's fine. We will teleport back. So hopefully you like the first part. We're going to continue on and do the second and so on and so forth. I'm going to do this once. I'm going to do this at the very first part and at the very last part. You're not going to hear me ask more than that. But if you do want to get more videos like this, if you want to continue watching, subscribe and like, it would help the channel out a lot, and also give me motivation to put more videos out of more games, and hopefully, if we get some income from this, honestly, probably not much, but yeah, there's a chance. It means more games, means more videos, means I might be able to do this full time. If you don't like this, obviously, I'm surprised you got through the entire video. But yeah, we're going to do Dark Souls 3, we're going to do Sekiro, then going to do Elden Ring. Elden Ring's going to be a large one that's going to take a long time. Sekiro probably won't take as long. Sekiro is quite difficult. I have a lot of troubles in the bosses. Dark Souls 3, we'll get through this fairly fast and, you know, just enjoy ourselves. Oh, excuse me. But until next time, let's